Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode of the AI Radio Show. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I guess you've had a fun day. What day is today? Tuesday. So I hope your week is going good and you're here to learn all about AI, the different things that's happening in AI. And those who've been using Claude for your work, I am so sorry because let's face it, Claude has been down since yesterday and they're still fixing a lot of issues. And apparently, I guess Claude was used by the US government to attack Iran. Basically, Claude was used to attack an AWS instance in Iran where it has also impacted Claude. So, is this AI destroying itself? No, it's humans using AI to destroy AI. With that out of the way, that is kind of the primary thing for this whole episode. So, let's face it, we are all kind of like addicted to using AI. So, for kind of like writing an email, for like rephrasing your messages, for getting to know any specific information, our go-to is either ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or whatever AI tool that you use. So we've become like so dependent on these AI tools. And I see a lot of posts on Reddit, Instagram, LinkedIn, on all the social platforms as to, the uses of Claude are complaining all over as to, you know, it's like very difficult for them to work without Claude. So that's exactly the main driving force for today's topic of this specific episode. What if there is like war breaking out everywhere, and what if at one point in time all of the AI tools are like withdrawn or shut down, and none of us can use any AI tool out there? That is a nightmare, don't you think? Now that since 2022 we've been so accustomed with ChatGPT, Gemini, and so on, and suddenly there is no AI tool out there. So just imagine that scenario. I know I'd be very disappointed because face it, my whole niche is AI. So I'm going to teach you today as to how to host your own large language model in your own local machine, your own laptop. You need not have any high-tech laptop or high-tech even desktop that you have at home. It can be a very basic, very foundation level system, and a small large language model can be hosted in it. All right, so I'll teach you exactly how to do that. It will just take like around 5 to 6 minutes of your whole time. But learning this is key, that too in terms of these uncertain times. And if you host such a local large language model on your own machine that is not connected to the internet, you can do anything with it. I guess like many of us like do not like sharing our personal information out on Google Gemini, ChatGPT. So many of us don't share it at all, and we are losing a lot of insights that we could get from all of these models. So if you could host a large language model in your local system, the data doesn't go anywhere, and this is for personal use per se. But then let's say you're working in a company, and then it's like with a lot of sensitive information, especially in healthcare and finance, where you're not supposed to use any outside models or outside systems to kind of like fetch the data from your internal systems and get insights from it. So this hosting of large language models within your company's network can give you that leverage and can make you work faster. All right, so these kind of techniques are some of the techniques that I'm going to be teaching in the upcoming workshop. It's called Irreplaceable OS. That's a whole cohort. Now, this workshop is like a 1 hour session where I kind of help you identify different tasks that you do in each and every day in your in your role, and kind of how you can automate with AI. So just identifying the task, auditing your entire workflows and your day-to-day tasks, and fetching kind of like understanding which tasks can be automated so that you become irreplaceable in your current role. So getting into AI is like very easy nowadays. You need not like do very critical, very highly expensive certifications and then switch to a technical AI career role. That's not at all needed. And in fact, moving forward, that kind of a role wouldn't have the hype or wouldn't have the impact that we see today. All right, so what roles will have a lot of impact is that the roles that you are currently in, any role that does not actively involve the use of AI. From the top of my head, I could think doctors, nurses. You could be a system administrator, or I don't know, anybody, marketer, sales, anything, any role you are, you do not actively use AI. But then this specific workshop will help you to incorporate AI into it, because that's what every organization want. So eventually it will make you irreplaceable or unfireable in your current role. All right, so that's the whole agenda of the session. And if you want to register for that workshop that I'm gonna be hosting, it's on March 22nd. It's a Sunday, and it's at 11 a.m. and it's completely free. So go ahead, scan the QR code, or if you are watching it on any of these Instagram or you know in any of these platforms that you're currently watching, you can kind of get to know about this specific workshop, the registration link in any of the bio. So yeah, with all that put in, let's go to the first segment where we talk about what's happening in the realm of AI. Okay, Yesterday, we touched base on what happened in the past weeks that we took the break. And one of the biggest things that still continues is the conflict between Anthropic and Pentagon. Okay, long story short, Pentagon wanted unrestricted access to Anthropic's Claude model so that they can use it for military purposes and all law purposes. But Anthropic CEO was not on board with it, and he was like, no, no, I cannot kind of like give you Claude unrestricted access. You have to use it the same way the rest of the world uses. And Pentagon, which is like the US President Trump, was not happy about it. And he went ahead and then blacklisted Claude across all of the federal and legal uh, institutes across the US, and even went even a further step ahead and then kind of like named Anthropic, biggest risks to supply chain. This is a big deal because the last time some model was like listed to be a supply chain risk was some Chinese tool out there. Okay, so this is like crazy that's going on over in the US with Anthropic and the Pentagon. And this is also the cause of the recent outage with Claude that's been happening. So labeling them as supply chain risk, that's I don't know what to say about it. And then while Anthropic kind of walked away from this whole deal with all of these backlashes, OpenAI stepped in and Sam Altman signed a deal hours later, but it's now facing a massive PR crisis. I don't know how many of you watching this have already shut down your ChatGPT subscription and moved to Claude, but a lot of people are doing it. So because of that, he had to go on Twitter and then to defend the rushed deal as users started the quit GPT movement. How crazy, right? And is I don't know. Now it's time for all of us to think. I guess, is a chatbot a patriot or a pacifist? A lot of AI influencers out there are promoting this, and then they're showing screenshots of them ending ChatGPT subscriptions and then moving on to Claude subscription. And also, Claude became the number one app on the App Store as of I think as of now too. So yeah, we're seeing an ideological split in the AI providers, and this is a good thing because we see autonomy in terms of these AI players out there. So it's not like government asks and then they have it, but it works on the principles of all of these different AI providers. So that's about the whole fiasco between Anthropic and the Pentagon. Next up, we are seeing, China's new DeepSeek model is set to drop version 4 this week, and it's timed perfectly for their 2 sessions parliamentary meetings. So it's natively multimodal, which means it can, kind of work with text, video, and audio, and crucially optimized for Huawei chips, but not NVIDIA. So this shows that China is successfully building an AI ecosystem that does not actually need US hardware. It's other way around. So US is like entirely dependent on China for all of this hardware. And February was the most crowded month in the AI history. For like 28 days of February, it's a lot. All right. We saw releases of OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and China's Zhipu AI, whose GLM5 allegedly beat GPT 5.2 while costing 80% less. This is a big thing for an open source model. And while the US fights over ethics, China is shipping faster and cheaper. So, does this mean that the West is losing its technical lead? Well, only time will tell. And we also saw about a company called Block, which which did a mass layoff of all of the different employees. Like around 4,000 people were laid off, and the CEO Jack Dorsey, they cut. It's like 4,000 is 40% of their workforce. Okay, and the reason that Dorsey gave was he did not blame a bad economy. He explicitly blamed AI. He claims intelligent tools have changed how companies run, allowing smaller teams to do more. This was a statement. And the market's reaction was like Wall Street loved it. Block stock kind of surged to between 15 to 27% on the news. And Jack Dorsey says he isn't early to this realization. He says other companies are just late. So, is your job the next efficiency gain? And this is exactly why I'm doing the workshop that I talked about. So it's not about you, learning AI and then upskilling in your role. For you to have a role in itself and become irreplaceable, you need to start adapting AI in your current role. All right. And there is a survey which says, I just have it on my phone. Yeah, let me pull that up. So I don't know if you can see. This is each dot represents like how many people are using AI right now. Okay, and as you can see, the red color is the one that is the number of people who pay for AI right now, and the green dots are the one who use the free AI, and the gray are the ones that who have never used AI. And if you cannot see that, 84% of the people have never used AI until today, which is, I don't know, concerning if you think about it. When the whole world is moving towards the efficient use of AI, and companies are like, firing people just because AI has made them efficient, there are so many people who, that is like 84% of the whole population, have not even touched an AI tool. So yeah, that's if you are in those 84%, I hope you're not. But then if you are, it's high time that you start using it and start using it on your existing current stage, all right, in your current role. So that's what I'll be helping you with the workshop. The QR code is there, or links will be there in any of the bio of my socials. Now, next in the news, we have the US Supreme Court, which just officially closed the door on AI copyrights. So they declined to hear Stephen Taylor's appeal, confirming that human authorship is a bedrock requirement. So if a machine made it, you don't own it. This is what the court mentioned. And the backlash was blaming, mentioning the slop, because AI kind of produces low quality content, be it music, be it videos or images. But then this slop was named Merriam-Webster's Word of the Year for 2025. Believe it or not, slop, the word slop has been in existence for like centuries, and Word of the Year for 2025 is the word slop. How cool is that? And we're seeing guaranteed human marketing becoming the new organic or non-GMO. The crisis is, Ars Technica, it just fired a senior reporter for using AI to fabricate quotes. Even the people covering AI are being tripped up by it. So, if a robot writes a hit song, can you sue for it? The Supreme Court says no, no human, no copyright. So, I don't know, we'll never know. And then here are a couple of things that you have to like kind of keep in mind in the next couple of days. All right. So in the NVIDIA GTC, you can expect the Feynman architecture. The chips Jensen Huang says the world has never seen. And Siri's rebirth, Apple has been far behind in the AI race, if you think about it. But then it is rumored that Apple is like silently building a new AI Siri powered by Google's Gemini. Huh. Okay. And it's set to release later this month. And March 10th, there is this new federal rules that may crush state level AI regulations. So these are the couple of things that's happening in AI across the globe, and things that you have to kind of watch out for. And yeah, as we saw, Claude is still down, but Gemini new model 3.1 is like picking up pace, and it's good. Like it's anticipating what you're expecting, and I think that's a good thing. I used it for a couple of tasks, and it seems different, like truly. So yep, I guess that's all for the happenings of today in the AI space. Now, as promised, what if the entire AI models that you currently use are all banned? So ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, DeepSeek, any public model that you use, anything that's hosted on the cloud, hosted by the AI player, if it's stopped, if it's withdrawn, if it's like down because of the war or any other natural calamity, what would you do now that we are all more reliant on AI models, right? So that's why I have this this specific segment of today's radio show where I'll teach you how to host your own large language model locally on your machine. Again, as I mentioned, you need not have a heavy RAM, you need not have GPUs. This is going to be very, very easy and simple, right? So let me quickly pull up my screen. I'm just sharing it. Okay. Yep. Um, I hope the screen is up. No. Yeah, now it's up. All right. So what we're going to do is basically head into, oops, sorry about that. What we're going to do is head into anti-gravity, my favorite IDE of 2026. So, and I've made up a quick checklist as to what we're going to do right now. Okay. So basically, it would go like this. We are going to install Ollama, which is a tool which helps you in hosting large language models locally on your system. Okay. And via Ollama, we are going to be pulling any model that we want and then hosting it. Okay. So these are the list of checklists that I've put together, which I will be also linking down in the description for you to use. So basically, this is what we're going to do. And those who are new to anti gravity, don't be too overwhelmed at what you're looking right now. It is similar to Visual Studio Code, and if you're new to Visual Studio Code, no worries at all. So this is the application using which you can write code. So even if you're not a coder, you need not write or write your code manually. There is this specific agent workspace where you can simply prompt the agent to run any tasks that you want. This, you can prompt it to clone a GitHub repository that you're eyeing, and then launch a new app, and then create all the different relevant files in here. Anything, you need not even write a single line of code using anti-gravity. And in my opinion, it's better than Claude Code, but I leave it to you to decide, like, which is better. Because I've been using both Claude Code and anti-gravity, like, for different things. But I find anti-gravity to be more efficient. It knows a lot of recent stuff than Claude Code. Maybe I don't know, but I truly believe that anti-gravity is such an underrated tool. It's open source, like, you can just go Google anti-gravity, and then let me show you how you can do that. So just Google anti-gravity by Google, and then this is the platform from where you can download it. So you can download it for whichever operating system you're working with, and it's like pretty simple. You download it and then log into your Google account, and there you have it. So, and also you need not, there is no yeah, even though there is something called pricing mentioned here, where if you take a quick look at it, it's like individual plan $0 per month, a plan for everyone who wants to build. So you have an agent model which has access to Gemini 3.1 Pro, Gemini 3 Flash, Claude Sonnet, Opus 4.6, GPT OS is 120B. Okay, we have unlimited tab completions, unlimited command requests, and generous weekly limits. So even though it says like generous weekly limits with an asterisk, I've never hit a limit in anti-gravity, but I hit the limit in Claude Code like within, I don't know, within an hour or so of me starting to use it. So yeah, I guess at Google's anti-gravity, I don't know if it was not marketed well, or if more people are like, again, there's a saying, right? Like, if something is free, people don't believe in it. So I believe anti-gravity is one such example. But again, I do love anti-gravity so much that that is my go-to ID. And I'm going to be demoing how you can set up Ollama using anti-gravity. Okay. So yes, so what you see here, this is your Explorer. So this is where all the files that you create will be over here. And this specific area where the different code like thing, this markdown file is like open. This is where if you double click on a file, it gets opened over here. And this is your terminal. Okay, so this is like your command prompt or your PowerShell where you can run commands directly over here. So if you want to run a Python file, you do Python and then file name, it will run. Okay, something like this, Python and file.py. If you have the file.py over here, it will run. So this is your terminal, all right? And now what we are going to do is simply follow these steps, okay? So our goal is to install Ollama, and Ollama is like again an offline tool which is gonna reside on your machine or your local laptop or local Mac Mini if you're using one, or your simple Windows laptop would do too. All right. So you're gonna install Ollama. That is the first step. We are gonna go into this site and then install it, and then or you can install it using using your PowerShell as well. But this is the most easy approach, and we're gonna check its version, and we're gonna manage different models out there. So as you can see, it can run with 8 GB RAM. So you can try with Llama 3.2 or 5.3 Mini, and even some of the advanced models can run with just an 8 GB RAM. With 16 GB, you can concentrate like 7 billion to 8 billion parameter models. With 32 GB RAM, again, you can concentrate for around 13 billion parameter models. Okay, and we're going to run this command to pull a specific model into our into our workstation, and then you can list the number of models that we have kind of pulled in the past, so that can be done. And we're going to be, in order to run that specific large language model, we're going to do Ollama run and then call that specific model. And if you want to quit something, you can just like type in slash and by. It exists, the whole Ollama thing. Okay. And you can even host it using Ollama serve, a command called Ollama serve. And if you want to install the Python dependency or Python integration, build Python apps using the locally served large language models using Ollama, you pip install Ollama and then you have the Ollama package installed. Okay, and you can even set up a Docker desktop if needed, and then access the UI at the specific port 3000 on your local host. And yeah, basically this is where your Ollama models that you've pulled would reside. And also, yeah, in open activity monitor. So we need to check if the uh, Ollama is utilizing the GPU metal during generation. Okay, this is for maintenance. If you're just exploring, you can like forget about it. And if you want to remove the models that you've downloaded, you can just run this command Ollama rm and space whichever model you want to remove. Okay, and these are the list of commands. Like Ollama serve will start the server for you. Ollama list will list down all the models for you. Ollama ps will show you like what is currently running in RAM. And to fetch a model, you use Ollama pull, and then to run a model, to basically like start a chat session in this terminal, you would do Ollama run, and whatever model you're choosing, you do that. Now, what we would do is basically go here and then type ollama.com. And this is where this is the Ollama site. If you click here, download, the Ollama file would get downloaded based on your, whichever OS you are in, you just download it. And I have already downloaded Ollama app, so I'm not going to be downloading it again. So this is how the Ollama app would look like. All right, and let me show you the different models that Ollama has. All right, so you have the latest Quen 3.5 model as well, and all the different models that you want to choose from is available over here. So when you're doing Ollama pull, you name this specific model name, whichever model you want to kind of pull from. Okay, and you can also like sort by the newest model that is available, what type of model you want. For example, some vision model, so Quen 3.5 is the newest vision model out there. If you want a thinking model, again, vision 3.5 comes up. So GLM 4.7 Flash, it's also a 30 billion class new model, which is like state of the art. So yeah, basically you can choose any model from here and then pull it in your Ollama, in your terminal, and use it as a regular chat interface, or integrated with your application and so on. Now, moving on to this specific terminal and on top of our checklist. So, hoping that you have done all of these things like installing the Ollama app on your machine. Now, let's run this command. It's Ollama hyphen hyphen version, okay, to know which version of Ollama we are currently running. So, mine is 0.17.5, which is the latest version. So, that's good. Now, the next step would be to pick a model. Okay, let's go back over here. Let me think. I want to choose a thinking model. Um, and Quen 3.5 is the latest model out there, and it also comes with vision and different tools. So let me quickly explore that. Yeah, so they've also given you the command as to what you can use and how you can integrate it with Python, if you're gonna build an application out of it. So, and also you can, if you remember OpenClaw, so you can launch OpenClaw using this model Quen 3.5. Okay, so these are the list of models that are available within Quen 3.5. I'm on my MacBook Pro, and I can run even the biggest of the models. But then for this demo purposes, I'm going to be choosing the smallest model that there is, which is, I guess, Quen 3.5.8b. So the fact is that how to choose how to decide which model to choose from. The number one decision driving force behind choosing a model is basically your how big is your computer, how big is your RAM and everything. And the second thing is what kind of task are you trying to accomplish using that. Know that higher the parameter of a specific model, the better accuracy the model would give you. All right, so just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to do 0.8b, or you can choose anything. This 9 billion parameter, again, it's a latest model, so you can pick that too. So what we choose 0.8b. So what we're going to do here is basically we are going to pull this model. Okay, I'm going to type in here in the terminal. So if you don't have this specific terminal available in your anti-gravity once you launch it, you just click here and then do a new terminal and this would appear. Okay, now what we're going to do is, this is a model that I'm going to be fetching, and I'm going to type Ollama, pull, and the model name. Okay, so let me zoom in a bit if it's not totally visible for you. Yeah, so this is what we're gonna do. Let me push this towards the side. Okay, so this is the command that we're going to run, and when I click return or enter, it's pulling the model into our local machine. So that's what is happening. So 5%, it shows you the progress of it pulling the model into the machine. Okay, for a 1 GB model, it's taking a little bit of time to get pulled. All right, meanwhile, let's look at our checklist. So once this is pulled, we will be running this specific command, Ollama list. Okay, so yeah. Meanwhile, let me check around and see if we have any questions in the chat while this model is being loading. Let me quickly unshare. So on YouTube, oh, okay, that's nice. On Instagram, oh, okay. I have not opened my LinkedIn, and let me check on LinkedIn as well. All right. Let's check if the specific model has been installed. Yeah, it's perfect. It's success. So once we typed Ollama pull the specific model, it has like pulled all of the different files required to run that model, and then it will give you this success message. Okay, now the next step is to ensure that this model has been installed. So I'm going to type Ollama list, and there you go. I've already pulled Llama 3.2 just earlier, and then now this is a model that we pull and it exists. Okay, so success. Step 2 is like amazing and success. Now we are going to run the model and try to kind of chat with it, okay, in the terminal. So Ollama run, and the model that we picked is Quen. You can either copy and paste it or just do, model name and a tab. It should give you, but then, okay, I don't think it works in Mac. So just copy this model and paste it over here and press enter. So yeah, the chat interface has opened up. I don't know if you can see. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so this is the chat interface. So I'm gonna be sending a message. So um, let's say, hey, how are you? Something like that. And the model, since it's a thinking model, it shows you its thinking process as well. So sometimes when you read these thoughts of the model, it's like pretty awesome. Especially when DeepSeek was launched, it went through an existential crisis. So that's how it reads. Like, okay, the user asks me how I am, and is it in response? Let me check my internal thinking. I see that the user is greeting me with how are you and asking for confirmation on my status. The primary function is to provide information and support as needed within safety guidance. See, it goes down this rabbit hole and thinks too much. This model, these thinking models are definitely overthinkers. And let's see, yeah, it is done thinking. And now, hello, I'm doing well too. Thank you for asking. While I don't have personal feelings like humans do, I'm here to provide helpful information and support in a safe way if needed. What would you like to explore today? Let's ask you to write I don't know, an essay on AI war. Okay, so write a 100-word essay on AI wars. So again, it's thinking, it's analyzing the request, it's formatting, it's choosing the format essay because we asked it, length constraint as we mentioned it, and it also like sets a tone, informative and neutral or analytical. But in your prompt, if you do mention what kind of a tone you want, it would pick that tone. So it has identified key themes and it's drafting attempt one. See, while thinking, it is doing multiple drafts before letting us know what specific. So it is also doing a safety check. So it is basically kind of, sorry about that. I'm going to push this away again. It's not moving out. Once again, okay. So as you can see, avoiding prompting harm, focusing on discussion or analysis is key here. The draft above focuses on general concepts. And then it's like reviewing and refining, and it has come to a conclusion that the current draft looks good. Okay. And then does a final polish, final word count check. Words are 1 out of 5 it has found. Let's write it clearly again. So again, it's doing a word count. This is again too long for AI war. Oh god, it's like it's too sad to look at it. Um, it cannot write under 100 words. Oh no, it's okay if it's 1 or 5 words. How do you tell an AI that? You've given clear instructions, right? Now I think, oh, awesome. So the rest is less than 100. So yeah, this is what it means. Um, one second. All right. So this is the essay that it does return. Basically, the term AI war refers to escalating rivalry between AI systems and traditional military capabilities. This race for supremacy is driven by technological advancements and geopolitical tensions. As AI evolves, they pose threats to personal safety and national security. Governments worldwide are pushing toward new tech to defend citizens from cyber threats. However, risk of human error, blah, blah, blah. So this is a neat and nice essay. Don't you agree? All right. So now we're just going to type bye to end this session. And I'm going to be showing you, because you cannot entirely type away in your terminal forever, right? So you need an UI where you can kind of, chat in an interface like this, perhaps. So Ollama again comes with this specific chat interface where it looks like ChatGPT, don't you think? And you can set like which how aggressive it needs to do thinking and so on. And also you can kind of attach files over here, and you can even choose the models that you want this specific interface to use. So since we have already downloaded Quen 3.5, and you can also here try to choose and do a web search for which it requires you to sign in. So once you sign in, it would use web search to answer your question instead of just hallucinating an answer if it doesn't know anything. All right, so how do you build such an interface? So this interface comes when you download Ollama on your machine, but how do you otherwise, build an interface? So for this, you need not know pretty much, a lot of coding knowledge. So for this, but you have to like kind of host this Ollama, not just pull it in your terminal. So we're going to be using this specific code command called Ollama serve. Okay, just paste it in your terminal. So error, listen TCP bind already in use. Okay, so I think we have to do what is like currently running in RAM. So let's do that. Yep, as you see in this ID, it's using this much GPU and it's currently running. So let's try if I can kill this. I can mine. Oh, it's illegal. For this, when you hit such a kind of a dead end, that's when you can literally go and chat with your agent. Okay, so you can just mention whatever you want. You can use voice command if you need, or just type in the prompt if you want. Okay, I want to. Okay, so use the Ollama Quen 3.5.8b model, serve it and host it locally. And using that, I want to build a Python application with a front end using Streamlit, where I can chat with it directly, ask it to write essays or any questions, prompt it to do the tasks that I want. Okay, this is the voice command that I'm giving it, and maybe follow the instructions. Yep, I'm sending it. So, instructions. Anyways, this agent with unlimited credits of Gemini 3.1 Pro or any model of your choice would kind of listen to my audio instruction that I just gave it, and it's planning as to what it wants to do. And it is also analyzing checklist, this markdown file, checklist file, to get some information if needed. So I think it's a good thing that we created this. It's working and it will set that up for us. Okay. Now, if you expand it, you can again see this model's thinking as to it's not that existential crisisy if you think about it. Now, yeah, it's like it has opened a terminal and then it's checking for Ollama version, which we first did, and it's basically running all the steps that we were like we just saw. So based on our instructions, now it has created a task for itself. So install required Python packages because we asked for a Streamlit front end, and it's going to create an app.py file for chatting with an Ollama local model, and include a model selector fetching local models from Ollama instance. Add chat interface using Streamlit chat message and chat input. So these are the list of tasks it has set up for itself. Now, if you see over here, the app.py file and other required files would be automatically created here as and when it executes this task. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, the app.py file has popped and it has created it. Now again, it's thinking. Okay, it's gonna be done in any minute now. Um, so some kind of a warning. It's asking me if I want to create a virtual environment. Yes, that's always the better approach. I'll use the latest Python version. And as you can see, it has created a virtual environment for me. Okay, so this is where it's created, and this is still running in the background with all of these commands. So it is installing the relevant packages, Streamlit and Ollama. And also, as you can see, this specific uh, port is where you kind of like run the models, all right, serve the models and use it later on. So it is again waiting for several dependencies to finish. And if you expand this, you can find the list of libraries that are installed in this specific virtual environment. And it has also create a environment config file and a git ignore file. So for those of you who have not coded before and who are like currently vibe coding, this is a very important file, because this is where you add the list of files which you do not want to kind of like push to your GitHub repo. This includes your environment file, where you add the simple.env file where you have all the API keys listed. You don't want it to be on a public GitHub repo, right? So this git ignore is a very important file for you to create. So we see that the model has like created that for us, which is good, right? And it has also created a walkthrough file for us as it's completed all the tasks. So as you can see, it has checked all the tasks by itself, creating everything. All right, in the walkthrough file, it's like described whatever it has done so far. It has installed the libraries, and then it has created this app.py file. And on the sidebar, it allows us to switch between whatever models we have pulled on our machine right now. And then it handles iterative LLM response streaming directly in the chat UI and so on. So Streamlit servers usually run on ports 8501, 02, 03, and so on. And it has done that. And also how to test it. So it's asking me to go to my this specific port on my machine. I'm going to do just that. And as you can see, this is the app which was built using Ollama by my anti-gravity session. So these are the two models which we had pulled in. So it is listed here. If you pull in more models, you will find a lot of different models in here as well. Okay. Now I'm sticking to Quen 3.5, the previous model that we used, and it is named Deep Chat AI, which you can change if you want, powered by, and so on. So, yeah, now this it becomes my own personal chatbot with a UI. Okay, and you can practically like leave it as is, like running locally on a machine, or host it on any of the hosting platforms. One such easy to host platform is Render. So you just like push your the repository directly from your anti-gravity onto here. And the free tier is generous, where you can literally host a static website such as this like this forever. Okay, that you can do. But again, if you're worried about privacy and data residing on your machine, this is the best approach, like hosting it locally. All right, now let's do the same thing. Right about this is something recent, right? Let's see if it's gonna pick pick up this specific news. Conflict between Anthropic and Pentagon. Okay, this is something that I'm gonna write. And as you can see, the model is thinking, and since this is not a terminal, you will not be able to see what the model is thinking. But if you go back to your anti-gravity platform and look at the terminal, so this is where let's locate the terminal where Streamlit was run. So this is the terminal. We are going to open it, and as you can see here, uh, I think if you enable trace, you will be able to look at all the logs in real time. All right. So yes, let's go back to our session, it's taking a bit of a time to maybe it's thinking because it was in our terminal, we were able to see the different thinking process of it, and you can even enable to kind of like list the thinking in here in your chat window. But yeah, other than that, I guess we'll have to wait. So one of the trade-offs that you must do is basically in any of the cloud publicly available you know AI chatbots, it's very fast because it's run on their cloud server, a highly efficient machine. Now, but here it's basically, it depends on the speed of your machine, the machine which you use. So if you are deploying it for your organization, make sure you get a very high-end server so that even if multiple people use it, it gets scaled and it does not lag and all. Now, as you can see in the result, it does not know about Anthropic and Pentagon's conflict because this specific thing does not have the like the basically the web thing integrated, web search integrated. You can integrate it as a tool. You can ask anti-gravity agents to do it for you. But then this is access. So it does not hallucinate, but it just tells you that there is no widely documented or actively publicized conflict because when it was trained, this news did not exist. Okay. So yeah, this is it. This is how you use Ollama, basically host Ollama, and then pull the language model that you're trying to use and create a front end application. This is a simple chatbot, but you can think about anything that you can create with it. All right. So I hope you learned something today. And I hope even if wars break out and all the different language models are kind of gone, we still have the local language models hosted in our machines, and are this reliance on the AI large language models will kind of like the addiction towards it. We would not be too overwhelmed with not being able to talk to AI, and this might seem a little not too much of a concern right now, but then there are a lot of people out there who are practically like just like you text your mom or you text your partner, there are people who text their AI bots. So that's why last Valentine's Day, OpenAI kind of like decommissioned their if I'm not if I'm wrong, like 4.1, GPT 4.1, I guess. They decommissioned that specific model, which kind of like showed emotional stability, and it was like more talking to a more like a friend. But then, yep, that when that was decommissioned, a lot of people were depressed, and they were like they even like strike went on a strike or something. So people are practically kind of attracted to their AI models, which is a weird thing, but people are. So yeah, that's practically how you host your models. And then so if you're someone who's like addicted, you have an out now. You are not reliant on any of these outside players, outside third party players out there. All right. All right, awesome. So before we conclude, I just wanted to show quickly the blood moon that's outside right now. So this is something that I kind of did. So basically, this is a blue moon that picture of a moon that I took, which is nice. So if you still haven't looked at the moon, go outside. It's like beautiful. It's like huge moon out there. So enjoy the moon. And before you forget, just the workshop links are everywhere in all of my socials. So become irreplaceable, unfireable self in your existing role without having to like uproot yourself and moving to an entirely different role and starting from scratch. So use AI in your existing role, and I'll teach you exactly that as to how you can do it. Okay, register for that. And with more exciting and new updates, I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. IST. Okay, this is me, your host, RC Rajendran, signing off.